Morning, guys. I guess you saw the videos that I did a few minutes ago about the Milwaukee 8. What I was talking about on there was that shaft comes up and curls over. Being that way gives them an angle to bring their Allen wrench straight down into the back of that shaft and keep it tight, especially during service. There's always been an issue with that particular thing happening. That shaft can come loose, and then if that comes loose and it starts wearing back and forth on that shaft, it'll wear the knurls off of that shaft, and then you got to replace it. And if you have to replace it, you got to go inside, pull that off, pull your primary case off, and it can be bad if you have to replace that whole shaft. Also, the shaft on the front needs to be tightened, and you should do that. I do that about every 4 or 5 months. I check it to make sure it's tight. If you ride quite often, and you really slam, those gears, you might want to check that, because if it goes bad and you have to replace that front shaft, it's not a big deal, because you just, you go in, there's some bushings in there, and you push the bushings. You take there's a video I saw of Fathead Cycles, and what he does is he goes in and he pushes the 2 bushings out with a like a punch, and it's a special punch. It's thin on one side and thick on the other, so you can drive them in. You drive the first one in, and then you drive the second one in, and then you put the new shaft in, because there is bushings inside that housing that they ride on. So that can be a big deal. Those are cheap metal. It's done because it's mass produced. Anytime you're mass producing, a lot of people say, well, why doesn't Harley Davidson make a better product there? Well, it's mass produced. They mass produce for their motorcycles. So anytime you're mass producing, you can't make stainless steel, you can't make chrome, you can't make all that for hundreds of thousands of motorcycles and be cost effective in manufacturing. You just can't. I mean, it just makes sense, guys. So the big thing is, if you want some better, go to an aftermarket like the one I just put on there. I mean, it's billet aluminum. It's not that cheap hot metal stuff or whatever. I don't know what the metal is they use. I really don't know. But the big thing is, if you want a better product, go with the aftermarket stuff, and then you can pick and choose what you want. I'm going to look around and see if I can get another chrome cover to go over that with the angle that comes around, like a little L, like a little J, a miniature J on that, and see if I can get something that'll work. Hopefully, yeah. I don't know. But I'm hoping I can find one. So I just hope that cleared that up. I noticed that on the Milwaukee 8s, I changed that on a Ultra Classic I had, and it wasn't a Milwaukee 8. And it's just a straight, just straight. So they're trying to change some things to make it easier so that you don't have those kind of problems. And I think that's a good thing. Harley needs to change a lot more things. But, anytime you're looking at mass-produced parts, they're just going to put them out. I know on some of the new Milwaukee 8s, you don't get the heel shifter. You get the toe, and that's it. They changed a lot of that. You get 1 key fob. You don't get 2. You don't get, in the Ultra Classics, you don't get the packs that come with them. Used to, I always got a saddlebag carrier, like a little luggage, and a tour pack. But you don't get those anymore unless it's on the CVOs, is my understanding. So they're trying to stay afloat in this difficult times. So I would hate to see Harley Davidson go under. I really would. So I just hope that's a little update on any of you guys with the Milwaukee 8s. Always make sure that the parts you order are for the Milwaukee 8. I'm going to run that on there. It's a bevel head on that, so it's not going to hurt anything. But I will look for another cover, and all I got to do is just unscrew that bolt, put it in, space it out a little bit, and that's it. It is at a little bit of an angle. I do need to space it out just a tad. but it's not going to hurt it because of the way that knurl nut, the way that this right here is in there, because you can see that nut swivel around. It'll swivel left, it'll swivel right, it swivels forward, it swivels back. So if you're at not a straight angle, you're at a little bit of an angle like this or an angle like that. These two heads are turning. See, I can wiggle that and this don't move. So as far as that goes, it's still going to be in there. I do have this, guys. I may be trying to work up a giveaway for this thing. I'm not going to use it. It's not that bad. It's heavy, but it feels, I don't know. I guess these holes kind of scare me. But it looks pretty nice. When you get it out in the sun, man, it sparkles. It's sparkly. All right, guys. This is my little repertoire for the day. And I'm out of here.